I'm not finna sing the song. Anyway, I am one of one of your DragonBroz, Shin the Hero, aka Walt, and I'm joined by
the other Dragon Bro, OldHunterRage, Isaac. What's up, everybody?
and we're just, the Dragon Ball super hype for 2022, the movie and all that junk. And we're following that hype, and so we're gonna throw out some ideas about the movie, particularly about Cooler, because besides like Brawly from the original Dragon Ball Z movies, besides Brawly, I would say arguably Cooler is like right up there in popularity with Brawly. Don't you agree?
I would say so, yeah.
I would say it's Brawly, Cooler, and Janemba, if anything.
I don't know, man. It's probably Broly, Cooler, and
You better not say it. We will end this cast right now.
I'll let you beautiful listeners fill in who I was going to say just by Walt's reaction.
Anyway, like a lot of people are feeling like it's gonna be Cooler in this movie. Like the movie's gonna be about Cooler, if anything. So, Saiyan Scholar had an idea for a Cooler movie. His revolved around like it's almost like a redemption type thing, like in the beginning. His was like let me remember it, but I'll probably link it down if his channel, if it's still up anyway, because I know here recently, shout outs to Saiyan Scholar in general. I know here recently he's been going through some crap with Toei and everything, and I wish the best for him. I mean, we're a small channel, so there's that. But his thing, it stemmed from Cooler. Freeza knows about Cooler and everything, and for Cooler to be the way he was genetically modified. Like he had like robotic parts and stuff in him and everything. And him and Cooler had like a real brother relationship type thing. And King Cole was gonna experiment on Freeza, but instead of Freeza, Cooler sacrificed himself for and did it instead of Frieza's place. He got into Frieza's place basically.
Oh.
And to be that brother and everything. It's almost like the Itachi Sasuke dynamic.
Yeah, I could see that.
So with that and all that, once he did that, he got genetically modified and everything, and that's why he got the fifth form and everything, and he went berserk, and he couldn't be controlled and all that junk. And Frieza kind of stopped them from going on a rampage because, brothers and all that jazz. And Cole locked them away. And this was like, you know how they did the flashback in the Brawly movie, in the Super Brawly movie with the Saiyans and everything?
Right, yeah.
They would do it like that. They would do a flashback like that. And they lock Cooler away. They put him in stasis or something. Put him in cold stasis.
I knew it was coming and I couldn't avoid it.
But they put him in cold stations and everything like that. And Frieza basically forgets about him once he gets the empire and everything, King Cole's empire and everything. He forgets about him, and he kind of like detaches himself from that one side of him, because Cole shows him like that's a sign of weakness and all that junk. So we get the Frieza that like this Frieza was a totally different Frieza back in the day, but he evolves into the Frieza we know and some people love.
Yeah.
Fast forward to how you remember at the end of the Brawly movie, at least when Frieza got mollywopped and everything, and at the end of the Brawly movie when Frieza was on his ship, he was like, yeah, I have something else planned for the Saiyans. Kind of like anonymously, or like he knew something else. he remembers a Cooler this time around, and he goes out to find Cooler and reset him free, basically. And that's how we get Cooler to how he's at least as strong as God level and junk like that. He's been in stasis, and like the whole stasis thing also, like he was with the experiments and everything, he was being experimented and modified it by the Big Getty star and everything. That right. you can put that in with the Cooler's Revenge and everything too. So over the years, it's almost like a Dr. Gero machine. His computer was over the years creating Cell, making him strong and all that junk. That's kind of how the Big Getty star would do and everything. But he only did one part of that, and I was like, that seemed interesting enough. And then there's Geekdom's idea about Cooler. One of his ideas were the way you can incorporate it was which to me personally, this doesn't sound like a Freeza thing to do, and it kind of goes against Frieza's character in general. But like his idea was, Cooler is like you still technically you wouldn't make him Cooler. You wouldn't make Cooler his brother. He would be a clone of Freeza and like Brawly's DNA. That's what he said. He would be a clone of Frieza's DNA, and he would be a mixture of Frieza's DNA and Brawly's DNA. And he would basically be this monster of a frost demon thing.
Interesting.
And I just was like, man, that doesn't make any sense to me, because Frieza hates the Saiyans with a passion. He's not finna mix his own DNA with Saiyan DNA.
Yeah. I don't think. But like, I was totally thinking about the idea of having Cooler show up as a Broly-like character where he's just a rage monster. But I like Cooler, you know, as he is, where he's legitimately just, he knows he's better than Frieza. And I feel like if you just make him a rage monster, you'll lose all that personality. So it's interesting.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't necessarily make him a rage monster. That's not what I'm trying to go at. I mean, that's the idea. Like, to piggyback on Geekdom's idea with the clone thing, that does sound like a good idea. And for me, I personally had thought of something where you could still make him a clone, but not with Saiyan DNA or anything like that. Frieza's DNA gets took apart, but it wouldn't be by Freeza or anything, or by his scientists. We can incorporate Android 21 actually into this, since her whole shtick was cloning and everything in the Dragon Ball FighterZ game. Like, we can bring in that actual cloning element, and not just Frieza and everything. We can clone Goku, Vegeta, and all them junk, and they can actually do the Dragon Ball Z FighterZ plotline better, and we can have like clones and everything, and we can also introduce Android 21, and Cooler could be almost like a Frankenstein type monster, or a mutation of when they fused, like, she found the Big Getty star and she fused Frieza's DNA, kind of almost like a Cell type thing, with the Big Getty star, and they created Cooler. And he shows up in his final form thing, and he's way more elegant than Frieza is and everything. And he has the final form, and his final form is on par with the gods and everything, with Super Saiyan Blue.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Ultra Instinct in this movie too. You could put his final form even above Golden Frieza, like, because like in the movie, final form Goku, final form Frieza, at least I think in the Daizenshus and everything, they put final form Cooler's power level at like 500 million or something like that. And Super Saiyan Goku at the time in that movie, his power level was like 25 million or something like that. It was really low compared to Cooler's power level. But you saw how well he just trounced that man.
Right.
As soon as he turned Super Saiyan. So, like, they could make the final form, like his final form, more stronger than it is. Like, you could power boost it up and everything. But the clone aspect thing could be more where you can introduce Cooler. And then, not only that, with the whole Big Getty Star thing, even if he needs more power, like, because you know Freeza should be there. If Frieza's there, he can take Freeza and actually fuse with Freeza and be one with Like, Frieza's fusing with him unwillingly. He forces like a fusion, almost kind of how Super Android 13 had fused and became Super 13. And then they have to, Goku and well, probably not Vegeta, but Goku would have to figure out how to get Freeza out of Cooler without actually killing Freeza.
Well, that brings up a point, because you said probably not Vegeta, but Vegeta could show up, and depending on how they, like at what time this movie takes place, Vegeta might have that spirit vision things, and that technique is meant to separate fusions, so they could just use that. But I don't know if they're gonna. This is why it's weird. All we have is the manga to go off and 2 movies about it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about the fusion thing. Because does that also do like absorptions? Like if Majin Buu absorbs something, could he defuse everybody then? Because
I think so.
Absorbing and fusion is 2 different things.
Because in the Moro arc, Moro was absorbing the energy from the planet, and Vegeta was still taking it away from him. So I assume it still works the same way.
Well, there's that too. I doubt you see something like that, but I know you'll see Ultra Instinct and I'd also probably say you'll see Vegeta's anime only transformation, the Super Saiyan Blue Royal or whatever it is. You probably see that too, but I don't know. I hope it's Cooler, and Toriyama just does something good. Like the way he did Brawly, he rewrites Cooler. Like I mean, even if they do the whole brother thing, that's fine. And even if they the whole he was in another galaxy could still work, because he could be in another universe for all we know. He could have been in universe 6 for the whole time.
It's funny you said that, because that was actually part of my idea.
Oh, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, my idea, I was gonna have a whole thing where like Cooler, since the reason we don't see him a lot is because I don't know how much older he is than Frieza, but we'll just make him like he was conquering a lot more than Frieza was at the age you saw Frieza at the beginning of the Broly movie. But the reason you don't see Cooler is because Cooler, I guess, let's say, got a little too big for his britches and started to overthrow places that not really that weren't in their jurisdiction, but he was, going outside of their realm, and somehow ends up getting banished to a different universe, like some universe we haven't heard about, and what is it, the prison universe or something like that? I guess I don't know.
In Heroes.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, it was some prison planet type thing. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Except way less cheesy, because that's just, still. So, Cooler somehow gets free. Well, we can make it like some prison break thing where he busts out and makes his way back to our universe and starts, finding out about all the shit that that's been going on. Like, he links up with his old army, but it's only, and this, because I want him back, they bring back Salsa because I love that dude. I think Salsa is amazing, and the other two guys who I don't remember. He links up with them because they're still out there, not really working in like Cooler's name or anything. They're just kind of like their own little mercenary group. And he shows up, and they're like, Lord Cooler, and then they tell him about all the stuff that Frieza's done, and then he's like, that's outrageous. And the first thing he does is goes back to like where planet Vegeta used to be, and realizes it's not there anymore. So then he tracks down Frieza, and in doing so tracks down the other Saiyans, and basically this would have to be, I still want the end game of this to be Frieza dying by the hand of Cooler. I know they're not going to do that because Frieza's way too popular. But, Goku and Vegeta, and I don't know who else they're going to have, has to team up with Frieza, and they all fight Cooler, and ultimately Frieza does get killed by this guy, but they eke out the win just barely again. But that was my idea.
That was a good idea, though. The prodigal son, the banished son. That's a good idea, though. Like, instead of Cumber is the one that's from Heroes, that it'd be Cooler. He's the one that's locked up and everything on that planet. You kind of almost turning it from the whole Moro arc thing, the Moro, but you're making it Cooler instead. That is a good idea. Or they could also do the whole thing when 17 wish for all the universes back, how everybody's been talking about those 4, or I think it was 4 universes that Zeno had destroyed.
Right.
Cooler was in one of those universes. When everything got wished back, Cooler got wished back. And as it stands, he's still in that universe. He's just been laying low until the time is right. Maybe he heard about this tree of might, and he uses that with the Big Getty Star. No. I don't know. It's just ideas. Well, you tell us down below your ideas for Dragon Ball Super 2020 movie. Do you think Cooler's gonna be in it? Do you hope Cooler's gonna be in it?
And tell us why it's actually gonna be BoJack.
Oh my God, I hate you so much. It better not. I'm burning down the movie theater if it's BoJack. Oh, I'm coming in there with a shirt. I hate BoJack. F this movie. I'm talking through it. I'm going to be such a... It better not be BoJack. Oh my God. This has been Shin the Hero, aka Walt, with...
and OldHunterRage, Isaac.
And as we always say... Show your attitude, you wonderful, beautiful nerd. Catch you later.